Okay, so the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to log in once you've done the verification process. It'll send you to the login screen. You log in with your username and password, and you're going to get this dashboard. You're going to hit Finish Account Setup. Click on that. It'll bring you into this screen right here. So you're just going to walk through and answer these questions. I'm an author publishing my own work, or I'm publishing as a registered business. So this is different than the screens that they used to have here. So in most cases, you're going to be an author just publishing your own work. If you're a business publishing under a business, for a business, or for other authors, make sure you select that one. Then you're going to have to come through and you're going to have to fill in all of the information here. So you're going to go through your account information, your verification, your agreements, compensation, and complete. Next, you're going to get a code to verify sent to your phone number. So they will text you, and then you just simply enter in the code and go to continue. So the code is correct. It's going to verify that. You can hit continue. Now here is an important one that you're going to want to read. Okay, so before you can set up any of these things, you have to make sure that you acknowledge and accept the terms. So this is very important to go ahead and go on through and read and understand what you're doing it. So it's a pretty, I would say boilerplate, but probably you've never read an agreement like this. So you're just going to go through and make sure that you don't see anything that's concerning. If any of this stuff, I mean, I've been using this for almost a decade and am not concerned by anything that's happening, but it's going to explain to you what print-on-demand services mean, what direct distribution services, wholesale services, and all of that. This is something that a lot of people don't realize, that when you put your book on IngramSpark and you set it up for distribution, any other seller, wholesalers, retailers, libraries, resellers, etc., can purchase your book. So a lot of people will be surprised when they see a bunch of other people selling your book on Amazon. That's how. But that's a good thing. You want more people to be selling your book. They're not pirating your book. Well, sometimes that's happening, but in this case, we're going to go with when you see other stores selling your book, they're ordering it through IngramSpark, or at least making it live via sales pages through being a wholesaler. It's going to talk about the digital distribution services. It gives you definitions of different things. You can see who the resellers and ebook, who's doing the ebook sales in here. Just between you and me, I generally do not opt into ebook services on IngramSpark because we put so many of our ebooks on KDP Select, and when you choose KDP Select, which puts it in Kindle Unlimited, you're not allowed to sell it through any other places. And if I do decide to use ebook distribution, I go with other companies that have been doing that longer, like Draft to Digital or Publish Drive, and are a little have a little bit better distribution, I would say, on the ebook side. It's going to go through what rights mean, all of these types of things. Returns is an important one for you to pay attention to. This is massive, okay? So with returns, everybody needs to know that you've got, will be sold and distributed. Publisher can put them as non-returnable, which is what I suggest, returnable and destroy, which if you're going to make it returnable, this is going to be the least expensive version for you. But return and deliver is not something you're probably going to worry about. But you are, it's important for you to know, I think I saw this down here, about 180 days that people are able to return the books for up to 180 days. And this is here. If regardless of return status, publisher agrees to reimburse Lightning Source for the cost related to any title return. Doesn't matter if you have it chosen as destroyed, you'll still get a fee for returns. So in general, most people should make their books non-returnable, because the reality is, unless your whole marketing is nothing to libraries and retailers, which that's going to be a very special situation, because most libraries and retailers will work with indie authors through consignment, or through libraries, not through consignment, but through different means. So just be aware of what returns mean. It can be very, very, very expensive. And the biggest issue with returns, and I really want you to hear me on this, unless Amazon changes, unless Amazon changes their practices, what they'll do is, when they see activity on a book, which they'll see on your book in pre-launch if you're doing your marketing, and they'll order a whole bunch of books, like in one case, we had 800 books ordered for a book that had actually only sold 32 copies, y'all. And thankfully, we were able to stop that order before it happened, because I knew there was no way there was a demand for 800 copies, because it was a very niche book and we were not marketing it widely. So I was like, it's not possible. There's no way. So anyway, in the past, we have had hundreds of books ordered for what amounted to 20 to 30 sales. And then Amazon returned all of those 90 to 180 days later, and we owed $1,000 on those returns. So just heed my warning and make them not returnable unless you have a very specific need for it to be returnable. Making it not returnable still allows it to be sold through Amazon. It'll not stop your book from being available on Amazon, and that's where most of your books are going to be sold from. Okay, and that information is current as of February of 2025. So if you're listening to this significantly in the future, that may be different. I hope that's different, because returns are a really big problem. Now, here's your licenses that you're allowed to use the services and distribute through them, yada yada. So you just want to take your time and read through here. Here's on the fees. You want to make sure that you pay attention to this. They've stopped charging a fee for setting up your book, but there are distribution fees in here of 15% for digital, and for the digital distribution fees. Okay, so you can go in there and read all of the different things. And it's going to tell you each party is responsible for tax liability, and so on and so forth. Warranty and disclaimer, indemnification. This is all pretty boilerplate for a contract and all of that. So you've got resources that they have here, your pricing and services guide, your IngramSpark user guide. I encourage you to open those up. They should open up in a separate window and kind of look through these. If there's anything that you need to see, it's going to show you what the cost is associated with it. So that's useful information. And then the user guide has all kinds of great information as well that's going to cover all kinds of different things. Now, you may need, a lot of this is probably the submitting of the files is going to be really interesting for you, but definitely get a hold of those. Okay, and then you're going to accept. All right, now this, I'm going to actually stop here and start a new one so I can do a separate one that doesn't run into the length of the other one.